once, but multiple times. And every time he stepped away from the spotlight, the rumors started flying.
And it's like, I know you, so I've been around you, I've seen you, but
Yeah,
I never really bother you about it. But like, what the hell were you doing?
Was it label drama? A personal crisis? From losing his smooth falsetto vocals due to too much alcohol consumption and an alleged drug problem. To problems with the label, because he kept taking way too much time to give them another album.
I have anxiety about being able to represent, the legacy of the music. I still work with the same people.
You want to be at a stand, you have to keep a standard.
And there is also the public feud with a fan that came for him, after comments that landed him in hot water when he seemingly downplayed Black History Month. Let's delve in. Maxwell was born in Brooklyn, New York. His mother was from Haiti, and his father was from Puerto Rico. His mother grew up in a strict Baptist family in Haiti.
My mom's from Haiti, my dad's Puerto Rican, so
I never knew your mom was from Haiti. How did I miss that part of the story?
Wikipedia.
I cling to the Puerto Rican side of you.
Maxwell's father died in a plane crash when Maxwell was only 3 years old. This was very hard for his family. He grew up in East New York, a neighborhood in Brooklyn.
I'm like first generation from Brooklyn. I didn't feel black enough, really.
When Maxwell was 17, a friend gave him a cheap Casio keyboard. This changed his life. He started making music on his own. He already loved 1980s R&B music, especially artists like Patrice Rushen, SOS Band, and Rose Royce. He liked how their music mixed electronic sounds with real instruments. He believed that later R&B music lost this special touch because hip-hop became more popular. Maxwell taught himself to play different instruments. He was shy and quiet, and some of his classmates made fun of him. But he did not stop. He focused on his music and kept learning. He also changed his style. He grew long sideburns and let his hair grow out in a wild way. Sometimes he put his hair in thin braids. He looked different from others, but he didn't care. By 1991, Maxwell started performing in New York City clubs. He improved quickly and became better at making music. He found a recording studio with 24 tracks and started recording his songs. He made a demo tape and shared it with his friends. People liked his music. His first big concert was at a club in Manhattan called Nell's. Many people came to see him perform. Maxwell kept writing and recording music. In just 2 years, he made over 300 songs. He played at many small clubs in New York City. People started talking about him. A writer from Vibe magazine saw him perform and called him the next Prince. This made him even more popular. In 1994, Maxwell signed a contract with Columbia Records. He decided to use his middle name, Maxwell, as his stage name. He did this to keep his family's privacy. This was the beginning of his big music career. Maxwell worked hard, believed in his talent, and became a star.
And finally, we're back. What in the hell took you so long? I feel like, what have you? And it's like, I know you, so I've been around you, I've seen you, but I never really bother you about it. But like, what the hell were you doing? Why does this take so long?
Maxwell, for a long time, stayed away from the music world. He was not seen much in public, and fans started to wonder why he disappeared. Some media reports said he was struggling with drugs or partying too much. These stories spread quickly because people did not know much about his personal life. He was a mystery to many, and that made the rumors grow even bigger.
I just have anxiety about being able to represent, the legacy of the music. I still work with the same people.
You want to be at a stand, you have to keep a standard.
In 2009, he finally talked about these rumors. He gave an interview with The Guardian and denied the stories. He said that some people around him liked to party, but he was not like that. He explained that he needed a break, not because of drugs, but because he wanted time to rest and think. He said he was just a quiet person who did not like too much attention. This was very different from what the media had been saying about him.
Let's remember, like, we have fun and we can wild out, but just remember that there's other kids that are looking, and then they need to see something that they're going to want to be when we're gone.
Maxwell also said that his health was one reason he stayed away from music. He did not give many details, but he made it clear that his absence had nothing to do with drugs. He wanted people to understand that sometimes artists need time to take care of themselves. Just because someone disappears does not mean they are doing something bad. He wanted to come back only when he felt ready. The music world was always changing. There was a lot of pressure to stay popular and to follow new trends. In an interview, he admitted that it was not always easy. He said there was pressure to stay different, but still be as successful as other singers. He knew that staying true to himself meant taking risks, but he believed that the best music came from real emotions. He did not focus on things like cars, clothes, or fame. Instead, he sang about feelings that everyone could understand: heartbreak, pain, love, and wanting to be good enough. These were things that connected all people, no matter how rich or famous they were. So over time, Maxwell fans wondered why. When he returned, his voice sounded different. Some say he still sounds like the old Maxwell, while others say his voice has changed. In an interview, Maxwell talked about this change and explained why it happened. During an interview, when asked if the change in his voice was a choice, Maxwell said yes. He explained that as he got older, his voice changed naturally. When he was younger, he had a very clean and smooth falsetto. But life, experience, and even things like drinking whiskey had an effect on his voice. He said he wanted his new music to have a grittier sound. He didn't want to rely on his falsetto all the time. Instead, he wanted to explore other parts of his voice. Maxwell also talked about his music like it was a story, similar to a TV series. He explained that his albums are connected, like different seasons of a show. He already knew what the next album would sound like, but fans could only react to what they had at the moment. He said it was sometimes difficult because people judged one part of the story without knowing the full picture, but he was happy that people still cared about his music. He knew that the industry changed all the time, and new artists could come in and take the spotlight. He joked that if people stopped listening to his music, maybe he would have to find a new job, like selling real estate. But for now, he was grateful that people still wanted to hear his music. When asked why there was such a long gap between his albums, Maxwell admitted that he had made a mistake by promising new albums every year after releasing Black Summer's Night in 2009. He said he felt pressure after the success of that album. Songs like Pretty Wings and Bad Habits were big hits, and he wasn't sure if he could top them. He was surprised by how well the album did, and that made him nervous about making new music. Another reason for the delay was his vocal health. Maxwell revealed that he had vocal cord hemorrhaging and swelling. This meant his vocal cords were damaged, and he needed time to rest and heal. He explained that singing is very demanding on the voice, and if a singer pushes too hard, it can cause serious problems. He had to take a break so that his voice could recover. Maxwell also talked about how music had changed over the years. He said that modern music is very electronic, and many artists use technology to make their voices sound perfect. But for his new album, he wanted to do the opposite. He recorded his voice in a very natural way, without using digital effects. He even recorded some songs while holding the microphone in the studio with the speakers playing in the background. He wanted his album to sound raw and real, instead of being too polished.
It's hard for me because what we do is so live, and like a lot of the records that are out on the radio have, electronic drums, so just to have that knock, but still be, a live sounding record.
He compared his music style to artists like Prince and Miles Davis. He said that when people first listened to their music, They might not understand it right away, but over time, the music would grow on them. He liked making songs that people had to listen to a few times to fully appreciate. He didn't want to follow a formula or make music that sounded like everyone else's.
Acclaimed R&B singer Maxwell. He said in a tweet that Black History Month should honor everybody. So not just black artists, but white artists and every artist in between as well.
Maxwell got into trouble on social media because of his comments about Black History Month. He made a post saying that Black History Month should include everyone, not just black people. Many people thought this was disrespectful because Black History Month is meant to celebrate black struggles and achievements. He posted a tweet with an American flag emoji and a picture of Lena Horne. He said that Black History Month should include all people because not everyone looks a typical black. This made people angry. They felt like he was trying to change the meaning of Black History Month. When fans criticized him, he deleted the tweet, but then he made another post. He wrote, "Black, blue, red, white, beige history," trying to defend himself. Then he added, "There was a president. His mom was white. Do you recall?" He was talking about Barack Obama, but this only made things worse.
Basically just try to justify it by saying how there are black people who don't look aesthetically black, who don't get the credit they deserve, therefore it shouldn't be notified as Black History.
People started making fun of Maxwell online. A fan named at Joe Gabby tweeted at him, saying that his last album did not sell well. She joked that his album went paperclip, meaning it was not successful. She also said that black ancestors were not happy with him. This seemed to hurt Maxwell's feelings. Instead of ignoring the comment, he decided to respond in private. Maxwell sent a direct message to at Joe Gabby and called her a bad word. He wrote, "Check the numbers." This shocked many people. Some believed that Maxwell would never talk like this to a non-black woman. They felt like he had a problem with black women, even though most of his fans were black women. After the DM was shared online, Maxwell tried to explain himself. He posted a public response saying that fame brings criticism, but he still loves his fans. However, this did not help him.
The fact remains that Black History Month was instituted because of the fact that a lot of people who are influential within the creation of America in particular did not get the credit that they deserved because of the fact that they were black.
Many people still felt disappointed in him. This was not the first time Maxwell upset his fans. The year before, he posted about police violence and used the hashtag Human Lives Matter instead of Black Lives Matter. People thought he was ignoring the struggles of black people. They dragged him on social media for that too. After this latest controversy, many fans said they would not support him anymore. Some joked that he would have trouble booking concerts. Others said he did not understand why people were upset. In the end, the situation hurt his reputation and showed that social media can be a dangerous place for celebrities who do not think before they post. Maxwell released his first album, Maxwell's Urban Hang Suite, in 1996. But before the album came out, he had a disagreement with his record label, Columbia. They wanted his face on the cover to help sell the album. Maxwell did not agree. He believed the music was more important than his image. He wanted people to focus on the songs, not on his looks. The cover featured the track listing and other details instead of his picture. This decision led to debates with the record label. He understood that fame could be dangerous. He said that once a person hears their song on the radio or sees themselves on TV, it can change them. Fame is powerful, and it can make people act differently. He was lucky because his friends kept him grounded. They had known him since he was 17, so they reminded him to stay humble. He knew that fame could make someone step over others and later regret it. He did not want to be that person. That was why he took his time with his career. He wanted to think carefully before making decisions. When Maxwell became famous, Women were very interested in him. People asked him how he handled all the attention. He knew that many fans were attracted to him because of his music. Some women were very bold, but he often noticed the shy ones. He liked to focus on them because he wanted everyone to feel special. He believed all women were beautiful. His job as an artist was to make his audience feel good. He enjoyed connecting with people through his music and performances. Before he became successful, he felt like he was on the sidelines. He watched other artists become stars while he was still waiting for his big break. This was a hard time for him. It made him feel depressed, but there were a few people at the record label who believed in him. They worked hard to get his music noticed. They pushed his album forward even when others were unsure. Maxwell gave credit to these people because they helped him get his record released. When his music finally reached radio stations, it was not easy at first. People did not know what to think of him. He had big hair and a unique style. He looked different from most R&B singers. Many R&B artists at the time came from the South. Maxwell had a West Indian influence, which was not common in the genre. He felt different from other artists like D'Angelo, who had a more traditional R&B background. Even though some people were unsure about him at first, his music spoke for itself. Radio stations played his songs because they were good, not because of how he looked. Over time, more people started to understand his style. Maxwell's Urban Hang Suite became a huge success. His unique voice and smooth sound won over fans. His decision to leave his face off the album cover showed that he cared more about his art than his image. Maxwell released his second album, Embria, on June 30th, 1998. Many music critics did not like it. They said the album sounded too different from his first one. Some thought the songs were hard to understand. Others felt the music was too complicated. Maxwell took a big risk by making an album that was not like his earlier work. He wanted to try something new, even if people did not like it. He did not care about losing fans. He wanted to make music that felt right to him.
No, for me, I always think to myself when I'm working on an album, can I do it when I'm 50? Can I do it when I'm 65?
Many artists who change their style face the same problem. When musicians make something new, people sometimes do not like it at first, but later, people may realize that the music was ahead of its time. Even though critics were not kind, Embria won the Soul Train Music Award for Best Male Soul R&B Album in 1999. Years later, people saw the album as important for a new style called alternative R&B. In 2018, Columbia Records re-released the album to celebrate its 20th anniversary. Even though the critics gave bad reviews, the album still sold well. Over 1 million people bought it. Maxwell gained new fans who liked his fresh sound. However, some of his older fans were confused. They wanted his music to sound the same as before. On May 26, 1999, the album was certified platinum, which meant it sold a lot of copies. It was even nominated for a Grammy, but it lost to Erykah Badu's album, Baduism.
And the best R&B album is... Oh, I'm such a big fan. Erykah Badu.
Later in 1999, Maxwell released a song called Fortunate. It was written by R. Kelly and used in the soundtrack for the movie Life.
Life? What the hell you mean? Like, hell no, I ain't doing no life. I'm going back to myself.
The song became a big hit. It was his most successful single and reached #1 on Billboard's R&B chart. It also became the biggest R&B song of the year. In 2001, Maxwell released his third album, Now. He felt more comfortable with this album than his last one. He wanted to return to a more simple and direct style. This time, people liked the album more. It sold 296,000 copies in the first week. It was his first album to reach #1. It was later certified platinum, proving it was a big success. The album had several hit songs. Lifetime became very popular.
Work it all out this lifetime. Work it all out this time.
It reached the top 5 on the R&B charts and number 22 on the Billboard Hot 100. Another song, This Woman's Work, also did well. It reached number 58 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 16 on the R&B chart. Even though the album did well, some critics still had things to say. Some felt Maxwell's songwriting was not as strong as before. Others compared it to his earlier albums and thought it was not as good. A music magazine, Law Weekly, said Now was disappointing after his first 2 albums. However, many reviews were positive. On the website Metacritic, the album got a high score of 78 out of 100, meaning most critics liked it. After Now, Maxwell took a long break from music. He did not release another album for many years. Fans missed him, but his music remained popular. In October 2018, Maxwell released a new song called Shame. He said this song was part of his next album, Night. This album was the last part of a trilogy he had been working on for years. In April 2019, he decided to bring back some of his older music in digital form. At the same time, he planned a tour for later that year. In September 2019, he performed for 4 nights in a row at the Kennedy Center. He was backed by the National Symphony Orchestra, which made the shows even more special. In September 2023, Maxwell performed at the Hollywood Bowl for 3 nights, marking the end of their summer concert season. Maxwell helped create a music style called neo-soul in the late 1990s. This type of music mixed old-school R and B with a fresh, new sound. Other singers like D'Angelo and Erykah Badu were also important in this movement. Maxwell's album Urban Hang Suite helped bring neo-soul to the public. It was released around the same time as Brown Sugar by D'Angelo and Baduism by Erykah Badu. These albums made neo-soul popular. Maxwell's music had a smooth and romantic style, which made him different from D'Angelo's more experimental sound. His work also inspired younger artists, including The Weeknd, who has said he looked up to Maxwell's music. In 1997, Maxwell spoke about music and inspiration. He believed all music comes from something in the past. He said that music should connect to history in order to shape the future. He loved how looking into a child's eyes could remind people of their parents. This idea showed how deeply he thought about music and life. The Washington Post once called Maxwell the Marvin Gaye of the 90s. The newspaper said his album Urban Hang Suite showed he was a master of soul music. He could sing about love and heartbreak in a way that touched people's emotions. His songs had deep feelings, just like Marvin Gaye's music. Maxwell's music made people feel hopeful, emotional, and connected. Unlike many R&B artists at the time, Maxwell had a lot of control over his music. He helped write and produce his own albums, which was rare in the industry back then. Many singers relied on record labels to make decisions for them, but Maxwell wanted to create his music in his own way. Music writer Carol Brennan once said that Maxwell, along with artists like the Fugees and Tony Rich, was part of a new group of R&B singers. These artists wrote meaningful lyrics, had creative control, and made strong debuts in the music world. Maxwell's music had a lasting impact. He did not just follow trends, he helped create them. His smooth voice, deep lyrics, and unique style made him one of the most important R&B artists of his time.